everybody. We here at McStabber Studios appreciate you tuning in to see our tabletop RPG streams. Some of the content of our streams may be a bit mature and cause emotional responses in viewers. We really take the well-being of our viewers very seriously, and we want you to do what you need to if something triggers you. Mute the stream, take a break, or just skip an episode. Otherwise, if you decide to stay tuned in, we are available in chat during the streams to talk you through it if you need that. Thank you so much, and we hope you enjoy this game session.
All work and no play makes twitch. It's something I don't know. And all work and no play makes me twitch.
Good evening. So you've come to talk to your boy Twitch yet again. Looking for the latest news from the street? It seems this coterie did have that dust up in their new domain recently. They finally put to bed the Sabbat interloper that has been causing them all these problems. Of course, it wasn't as simple as they thought, because he had brought friends, not only a newly embraced individual, but he had a pet rat that turned out to be more than expected. Of course, this coterie brought friends of their own, and in the end, didn't help him much now, did it? I hear tonight, a reduced coterie is finally going to go to see the art exhibit that they were told about by Mr. Aluk. It should be a nice, safe and easy night for the coterie. No major problems. No stress, just a chill night at the art museum. I'm sure. It's your boy Twitch. And we'll be talking.
And they just, it's so weird. Stayed in that hotel and it was winter and it was cold and we were there so long and the blood through the elevators and there was even, the two creepy little girls.
Good evening and welcome to McStabber Studios' Windy City After Dark. I am the storyteller, Shanky McStabber.
And I'm Relindaire, and I am playing Jacqueline Durand of Clan Ventru.
I'm Urian, and I'm playing Roscoe Akers, Clan Stramere tonight.
I'm Mandy. I'm playing Destiny Star Jones, Clan Toreador.
And I'm Lady Merowith, and I'm playing Eleanor Thurston, Clan Malkavian.
And it's that time of year. People are getting sick, and two of our players are out tonight, not feeling well. So we wish them a speedy recovery. But, the show goes on, and so does the World of Darkness. It doesn't stop. Chicago. Ask someone to picture the city, and they will have trouble coming up with a concise description. When people think of New York City, they think of skyscrapers, subways, and muggers. When they think of Los Angeles, they think of sun, smog, and traffic. When they think of Detroit, they think of cars, factories, and decay. But for those of us who know, there's only one thing we think of when someone mentions Chicago: vampires. And tonight, we tell their story. when we last were with this coterie, they had finally dealt with an interloper that had been hanging out in their domain, and that was finally squared away, I think. I'm considering he turned into bits of bone. So hopefully the coterie now has a bit of quiet time. Now, tonight's episode occurs a few days after that. Not a full week, but a few days, because there was an event that the coterie would wish to go and attend, which was an art opening. Yes.
That would be a full week.
No. He said next week, and that was a few days. That was at the Succubus Club, and then you did the thing. So it's about a week. We'll go with a week. Time is fluid. Remember this. And, but to start tonight off, Eleanor and Destiny have a scene that they wish to do, and I will let them describe where they're meeting and have their scene.
Well, Eleanor has invited Destiny over to her haven for a chat. And when Destiny arrives, Eleanor will let her in, and the apartment is quite tidy. A little bit weird on the furniture side of things. Where a couch probably was at one point is actually just a pile of cushions and pillows and blankets. And there's sort of tables and bookshelves kind of scattered in a weird way. And on one wall, there's butcher paper that's been taped up to the wall. And one of the pieces of butcher paper had, written in marker, has war in big block letters, and then bunches of other words around it, like a word cloud or something. Then the other one has a bunch of other random words in different colored markers, and there's one area that's bordered off with a big Sharpie scribble. And then there's a few little doodles in one corner, and one of them looks suspiciously like Lamar with snakes coming out of his trousers. And so when you come in, Destiny, oh, thank you for coming.
Hi, Eleanor. Thanks for inviting me to your haven. It's beautiful.
Oh, thank you. It's a little odd, but I haven't quite finished decorating yet. A little bit. I have this over here, and she points to a bookshelf. It's got all kinds of different books on it, and the shelves have knickknacks on them. And one of the shelves has the dingle hopper and the little cat comb that you gave her.
Oh, I love that shelf, and I love all your little knickknacks. And I mean, typically, I don't think that people would appreciate the butcher paper thing, but I actually kind of really like the aesthetic. It's got very postmodern feels to it.
Mm-hmm. It's I've been trying to think very hard about things, and sometimes it helps to write it down and keep it all straight in your mind. And I don't have any posters or pictures, but sit. And I have chocolates for you because I know you like chocolate.
Thanks. I didn't bring a gift for you. I'm sorry.
You don't have to. That's all right. I mean, you're the guest.
Well, yeah, but doesn't the guest typically bring something to their host, too? I didn't really have a lot of time. I've been doing a lot of work, so I'm sorry.
That's okay. You came, and that's what matters.
Maybe later tonight we could, go out to a coffee shop and get a cake or something.
Oh, I would like that so much.
I think the best part about being a kindred is that I can eat as much chocolate as I want, which I never got to do that before.
Me neither.
I really couldn't eat any chocolate at all because of the whole auditioning thing.
Oh, is that because you had to look a certain way?
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't get it just because I wasn't allowed to have it.
Oh,
but it's all right now because I can have as much as I want, just like you.
So let's have some.
All right. Open the box.
And Destiny will pick out the one that looks the nicest and hand it to Eleanor.
Oh, thank you.
You're
you
welcome.
Should try that one with the little purple flowers because that one's lavender flavored.
Lavender flavored?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And she'll pick it up and she'll try it. And I've never actually had a lavender flavored chocolate, so I'm going to assume it's probably pretty good.
I mean, I think they are.
I mean, it's probably similar to like an Earl Grey tea because of the bergamot. So it's like chocolate and flowers. So yeah. She'll eat it and smile.
I didn't just ask you here to have chocolates and girl time, though we can certainly do that as well. But I was thinking about, well, when you were saying about not being able to be yourself and all of this pressure from the high clans and from the Toreador especially to be more Toreador, I was thinking a lot about that. And I had a thought that perhaps might help, where it's a balance, where you can make the high clans happy, but also still be true to yourself.
Really? How?
Well, did you do much acting other than singing and dancing?
Yes. Yes, I did.
Okay, so you're already in practice. This is good. All right, because I was thinking the one thing that really seems to stickle them up a little bit is when you're not doing what you're supposed to do where they can see you. And so you play a little game, yes, where you pretend you do all the right things where they can see you. And then as soon as they're not looking, you go back to doing what you want to do.
Yeah, but the problem is that I'm a little unclear about what all the right things are. Since, I was raised by Martin, and then I just got presented, and as soon as I got presented, I was shoved into a coterie without any Toreadors. So
That's
how do I act to be like part of the Toreador clan when I have no guidance other than my blood? And apparently my blood is leading me astray because Jackie doesn't appreciate the way that my blood leads me.
Well, some of it I think is, how to put this? Sometimes you're very Toreador in that way that's sort of recognizable to people. But then other times, you sort of are more like a Nosferatu, which makes sense because you were raised by one. And you spent a lot of time with them. So of course you would pick up a lot of their tricks and of course you can do some of the things that they can do as well. So that might be the whole blood steering you in a different direction.
So basically, do I just take everything that Martin taught me while he was also teaching me to survive during the war in New York and just throw it out the window?
No, don't throw it out the window. No. You keep it like in a little box. You go boop, and you close the box. And then when you need it, you open the box. And you pull out what you need. Like acting and playing pretend when you need to look like a Toreador that's oh so haughty. And I like art. And this isn't art. That sort of thing. I don't recommend actually doing that. They'd probably think you were making fun of them, and it would probably make it a lot worse.
But if I was making fun of them, wouldn't I be making fun of myself because of it being me too?
No.
So I shouldn't make fun of them?
Well, maybe only in small doses.
Do you know that, like, comedy is a form of art too, right?
Yes. Are you good at comedy?
No.
Oh. Satire is also a form of art.
Well, yeah, because satire is a form of comedy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really good at sarcasm.
I mean, that's a good way to go, especially if you can do sarcasm where it doesn't look like sarcasm. And then they wonder, was that sarcasm or was she serious?
I've done that a couple times already. Have you not realized?
Yeah.
Yeah, you haven't realized, or yeah, you have realized?
Yeah, I realized. I mean, I may have missed something once or twice, because sometimes I do miss things. But I have noticed. But the sarcasm is very good for a Toreador, though. That's something that looks about right to me.
Okay. It's just, it's just difficult.
Mm-hmm. You're having to learn to play the game with nobody to teach you how. I don't even really know how to play the game. I just watch people do it. Jackie's very good at playing the game.
The problem is that it feels like I'm learning how to play the game when I was already taught how to play the game, but I was taught an entirely different set of rules.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's actually 2 games. There's the survival game, and then there's the slightly different survival game that's also society.
I mean, it feels like I'm getting shoved head on back into the world that I lived in before this life. I'm out of practice.
Yeah,
this is only 10 years out of practice, though, right?
But that's not very long at all. That's just a drop in the bucket.
Yeah.
I believe in you. I know you can do it. It'll just take some practice and learning a little bit of what people expect and how that particular game is played. But I don't think you have to throw away everything that you already learned. I would actually strongly advise you not to throw it away. You learned so many very interesting and very useful things. You can be unexpected.
I think I need to maybe meet and actually interact with some Toreador. Do you want to go to that jazz club and see if we can maybe meet up with, what's that girl that Lamar's like mooning over?
Kathy with the K?
Yeah, do you want to go and like be her best friend? I mean, actually, I don't want you to go and be her best friend. I want me to go and be her best friend, but I want you to be there as one of my other best friends. But okay. Jackie's already your best friend, so I hope that this isn't too much friendship.
No, I don't think so. I can have lots of friends, and I want to help you make more friends so that you can then learn more things.
Yeah, Martin kept me a little separate.
Little sheltered?
Yeah, a little sheltered.
A lot sheltered.
I mean, once we left New York, I basically didn't leave his haven for a long time. Years.
That's a long time.
It's okay. Martin had really beautiful statues, and
were you happy there?
He's a good guy.
He seems to care a lot about you, just from the one time that I saw him.
Yeah, I mean, he pretty much saved me. I'd probably have been running with the Sabbat because of circumstances, had he not been there.
Well, it's much better that he was there.
Yeah, could you imagine if I was on the Sabbat side?
Oh, you'd be terrible.
In a glorious way. Because I don't know. Hold on. I mean, that came out the wrong way. I'm kind of a badass, Eleanor. I don't know. I didn't really get to tell you about much of New York, but I shouldn't have been able to survive, and I did. At least that's what Martin says. Maybe that's actually a lie.
A lie?
I should ask him. Maybe I'm not that remarkable at all. You never know, right?
Well, would it matter if he thought you were remarkable, if you think you're remarkable?
Therein lies the problem.
You don't think you're remarkable?
Of course not. Not in many ways.
Well?
But I do think I'm remarkable in the streets, on the stage.
Well, I think you're pretty remarkable. All of those places. I was worried when it seemed like you were lost, but you came out of the sewers. You weren't lost in the sewers. And that's pretty good, because I know if I ever went down to the sewers, I would be so lost. It would be terrible. I'd probably just sit down and cry.
Oh, you wouldn't sit down.
No, you're right. I wouldn't sit down. I would just stand there and cry.
Yeah,
You're absolutely right.
It's not that bad in some spots. And, I mean, for the most part, they're lines. So just keep following the lines and making enough turns, you'll figure out a way out.
You'll find something sometime?
Yeah. Well, what's this doodle over here?
Oh, this one? It's Lamar.
I thought so.
Apparently, he was very scared by Portia at the Succubus Club. And Roscoe said he had snakes in his pants, and I thought it was very funny.
We should tattoo that on him. We should get him to sleep somehow someday and then tattoo that on him, because that's a really good picture. And could you imagine what he'd do if he woke up with... I mean, I guess it would probably be really difficult, because first we'd have to get some of his blood to be able to tattoo him. Maybe we could just draw it with Sharpie.
Draw it with Sharpie,
But first we got to make sure that he's sleeping.
Right.
So we have to stake him. This is a bad idea.
That sounds really like a bad idea.
Yeah, let's not do any of this. But maybe
we could cut it out.
Cut this out and frame it and put it inside of the bottom Sylvester's?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll get the scissors.
Okay, and I'm going to look up a place for framing.
Okay.
A framing company.
All right.
And Destiny will whip out her phone to Google framing companies.
Yeah, Eleanor would get the scissors and trim it out.
You find a number of framing companies. This is Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a number of everything here in Chicago, to be honest.
Do we have a framing company in our domain?
I don't think a framing company
I don't think
would
that's
quite
important.
Right. I don't think it would quite fit into the clientele of the neighborhood.
Yeah. Well, you never know. Somebody needs to be framed all the time.
A different kind of framing. So Jackie and Eleanor, or sorry, Jackie and see,
because
they
we're
are best
always
friends.
together.
Destiny and Eleanor have a good chat, and hang out a bit. Destiny wants to find a night they can go check out the jazz club in hopes of seeing Kathy with a K. And now these events are happening the night before the big art exhibit. And now we're going to flash over to another scene. Roscoe and Jackie. Because Roscoe had mentioned an antique store and bookstore that piqued Jackie's interest.
Pete.
Piqued.
Jackie would have, if Roscoe allowed it, would have swung by his bookstore to pick him up.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure.
Okay. Because Jackie doesn't want to ride around in a pickup truck.
Fair enough.
You could ride around in the back.
No.
Yeah.
No. As much as I don't have to worry about dying from being launched out of it, still no.
Yeah, hang on to the toolbox in the back, or the
No.
or the
And
spare
so-
tire. I mean, you wouldn't go out.
So Jackie goes to pick up Roscoe, and Roscoe gives you an address. This place is located in downtown Chicago. It's inside the Loop.
Mm.
And it's called Benway's Books and Antiquities.
Interesting. Why have I never heard of this place?
It's not a very big place.
It's pretty small,
Hmm.
actually, and it has a very select clientele.
Interesting. So
But
let's go in.
Okay, let's go.
From the front of it, it actually, I mean, you know what it is. It has a sign that says it, but it's a very nondescript storefront.
Hmm.
If you didn't notice the small sign, you would actually think it was an office or some sort of other thing than what it's supposed to be, an antiques and bookstore. But when you come into the building, the first thing that hits your nose is the smell of old, musty wood, old leather. It's a smell very familiar to a lot of people. Maybe a grandmother's house, or great-grandmother's house. Maybe even a storage unit at times, with just the smell of the old wood, hint of old book, old leather, and old furniture. And when you come in, Mr. Clark, who is almost always at the front desk. Good evening, Jonathan. Or Ross, sorry, that could be in the nights. Good evening, Roscoe. Who's your friend?
And I look over this. This is Jacqueline. I will let her introduce herself fully to you.
She reaches out her hand. Jacqueline Durand.
And he takes your hand and kisses the back of it. Pleasure to meet you. I am Jonathan Clark. I work the desk here. Please have a look around. Anything you like. We've got a eclectic collection of things.
I saw that. Very interesting.
I will inform Dr. Benway that you are here.
Wonderful. Thank you.
I'm sure he'll be out of his office in a minute or two to say hello.
I hope so. We need to have a talk with him.
And Mr. Clark looks at you a minute and goes, just have a look around. And as you look around, I mean, this is an antique store. There seems to be a focus, though, not on European or American antiques. Most of his antiques appear to come from the Middle East.
Is there any art in the room?
There's no framed type art. Now, there are several, obvious Persian rugs.
Okay. Sculptural pieces, things like that, pottery maybe?
Several sandstone pieces.
Okay.
Are there any pieces that came in with the rest of the collection that the book came in? That
you don't know, you'll have to ask.
Ah, okay.
So you look around a bit. I mean, there's a nice collection of various things. There's even, you could swear there's a few Roman pieces done in marble, though it says it was taken from the Middle East, Egypt, for those pieces, probably during the height of Roman power. Odd to find it in a small books and antiquities place like this. It's not the kind of piece that normally you would find, if it's authentic.
Storyteller, I did a roll just to see if there was anything that piqued Jackie's interest. I did an intelligence and academics with her specialization in art history, and nothing really piqued her interest.
She got one success?
One success.
So, there's nothing that, she can't tell whether this is real or not, so it's hard for her to know whether
it's worth anything.
I mean, there's some beautiful pieces, but are they real?
Right.
And
it's not exactly a pure one.
No.
That isn't where she shops anyway.
You wander the place for about 10 minutes before you hear a man approaching. Now, this man, as I've said before, he's tall, stringy thin. Looks unhealthy, honestly. He's wearing a blue vest tonight with a red silk handkerchief out of the pocket. And as he walks up, good evening, Roscoe.
Benway, good to see you, my friend. How are you this night?
I'm well. Who's your friend?
This is Jackie.
No, Jacqueline Durand.
Ah. And he takes your hand and you see him lean forward and bow his head and actually touch it to his forehead.
It is a pleasure.
I've heard of you.
Oh, interesting. Hopefully good things.
Well, then true?
Yes.
You've been given a domain along with Mr. Akers here.
Indeed.
Nasty little place. Nasty little place.
It can be cleaned up.
It's been tried, but I'm sure with such esteemed people as yourselves, I'm sure it'll be successful. Anything in particular you're looking for tonight, Roscoe?
Well, I'd like something. Was it interested in maybe looking at something else that came in that collection with that fine book that you sold me recently that I just, for the life of me, couldn't keep my hands on it for very long. It seems to have slipped my fingers.
You've lost it?
Well, not exactly lost in the sense of I have no idea where it is. But it seems to have had several people very interested in it, a lot quicker than I would have thought.
Ah, Mr. Marcel, I'm sure was by.
Yes, he was, like almost immediately.
Well, yes, he bought a few other items. Well, the rest of that lot that was shipped over. There were several statues and a brooch. And he bought those and had asked if there was anything else.
Oh, and you felt obliged to tell him that there was indeed something else.
Well, of course. Perhaps he could offer you more than you paid and you'd turn a tidy profit. That's how business is done, isn't it?
Most business, yes. But the brief conversation I had with him, it seemed like it might be something less of than a jovial business transaction should I not decide to part with it.
And he cuts his eyes a bit over to Jackie and then looks back at you. Mr. Marcel is persuasive when he chooses to be and well connected. So, I take it you did not sell it?
I did not sell it to him. There was other interest in the book, and it seems to have found a new home.
Well, I'm sure he will be greatly disappointed.
Yes, he likely will be. But can you not procure him something else that might satisfy him?
Well, I don't control what I get. My contacts ship me things. And he leans forward, but as you know, it's very difficult to import some of this stuff at the moment.
Oh,
so
I understand completely.
I don't know what's arriving before my sources get it in and give it to me.
Well, if you could, in the future, just a favor to me, if you have any of your contacts tell you of any knickknacks and artifacts of a small nature suitable for a gift that, say, may have come from Carthage, I would be interested in those.
I will make it known to my people. Carthage is a rare thing, and
it is.
To be honest, there are certain members of a few clans that tend to collect items that come from there.
I mean, you never know. I might find the need to make a gift of one of them.
Very shrewd of you. Very shrewd. I will make sure that my contacts know and will pass it on.
Thank you very much, Ben.
He kind of looks around.
Us?
I had mentioned, and he leans in to whisper it, but Jackie, you're close enough. You can hear every bit. I had mentioned about a tongue last time you were here.
Yes, I remember that. I also distinctly remembering that I didn't want to remember about it. But yes, you did say that.
The gentleman who's bought it has disappeared.
Oh, really?
Yes. Who is this gentleman?
Yes. His name is Clarence. Clarence Bartleby.
Not someone I've heard of.
He is a Tremere, but not part of Chicago's Chantry.
Oh, okay. That would explain why I don't recognize the name.
Yes.
Where did this tongue come from?
Well, same as most of my items, the Middle East.
Interesting.
It was well preserved. Really a curiosity of all things. It was amazingly well preserved in a jar, and it was just a tongue.
Mm-hmm.
He was quite fascinated with it. He bought it. And
now he's missing.
Yes, he was supposed to come by to buy a few other items.
Oh, what items was those?
Well, the statue you see over there, And he points at it's sandstone. Your guess would be late Egyptian period.
Okay.
Late in the Pharaoh's reign. He was wanting to have that. He collects odd curios.
No, sir. A tongue is certainly an odd curio.
Oh, yes. It definitely was that. Normally I wouldn't bring this up, but it just bothers me that he turned missing. He's always been a reliable customer.
Well, right. You certainly wouldn't want to have anything happening to your trade, your customers disappearing out of hand. Is there anything else that you can tell me about him? And could I make use of Sense the Unseen in this case?
You can. You can go ahead and roll your Sense the Unseen. Hey, well, Bartleby, I mean, I figured all you two knew each other, but if he's not part of your chantry, I guess you wouldn't. He's tall, 6 foot, 6'2", 3", something in that range. Trying to be polite. We'll be kind and say he's rotund.
That's
he has
aspects and
it would be for Sense the Unseen, it's resolve all specs.
Okay.
He's always fidgeting. He's a fidgety type, which is odd. You don't normally see that amongst kindred. We don't.
You need to roll one more die because you didn't do your...
Oh, right. Thank you.
But he's always been an odd one when it comes to his collections, so I thought nothing of a tongue, but it worries me when a customer does not return. He was going to buy this statue and said he would come back when he had a vehicle he could move it with, of course, because you can't just carry this down the street. It's downtown. It's not the safest place to do this. Let's see. You're rolling your resolve all specs. So you've got 3 successes. There is, obviously, with 3 successes, there's a light glow in general at this place. But it's hard to, it's not on any one item. It's almost as if magic things have come in and out so many times it left
an ore.
A fingerprint on the place. It's changed the general environment. You see much the same thing when you're at the Chantry or in other places.
Right. While Benway is speaking with Roscoe, and Jackie's generally not included in the conversation except for little quips that she's adding. Yeah. I'm kind of assessing him, and I rolled for my insight ambitions. I want to see what drives this guy.
Okay. Let me roll to resist you.
I've had 4 successes.
Yep, he gets to roll to resist.
He can.
So I shall roll it, which is going to be Composure Subterfuge. Let's see what he got. And you got how many?
4.
It's a tie. So on a tie, I'm going to let you... because he's not trying to 100% hide what he's doing. Mm-hmm. It seems he does seem awful. He doesn't, for someone who's missing a customer, he's blasé about the money part of it. Mm-hmm. It's almost like to him, it's the items that come through the shop. Yes.
Okay.
But, I mean, you probably won't see him. He's, like I said, he's an odd one, but if you hear anything, just let me know.
Are you more concerned for him or the item?
Well, he was supposed to buy it, and that's a purchase.
I thought he had already purchased it from you.
No, he
No.
said he was going to come back and
He
buy
was
it.
coming
once
back for the statue.
He brought a vehicle,
Mm.
which is odd because I've never seen him with a vehicle.
Do you by chance know what location he generally was in or where he stayed?
Not really. My understanding is he has no permanent place. He moves
Transient.
around.
Odd for a Tremere.
Mm-hmm.
He's, like I said, he's not part of the Chicago Chantry. Now, that does not mean he's not part of one of the other chantries. There are chantries around the city in the other cities or nearby. I'm sure, I don't know for sure, of course, but I'm sure Gary has its own chantry in those kind of places. But it's just odd because I'm not used to customers saying they're going to come back to buy something and then not buying it. It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if we happen to hear anything about him, I'm sure we can let you know.
And now I have to wonder, do I sell this and then he comes back later and comes looking for it and he can't find it and it's been sold, or do I keep it and then he doesn't come back and now I'm stuck with, with the size of this shop. It's about moving the merchandise. It can't.
It is indeed. And as was the nature of this, there was no contract signed.
Well, no.
So,
You know as well as I do.
Right.
We don't do a lot of contracts and a lot of the business is cash.
Mm-hmm.
A lot less questions about how certain items got here.
How much is the item?
It's what I would call a reasonable price. And he gives you what seems like a reasonable price. Jackie has how many dots of...
I have finance, fine art, 2 dots. I'm
I'm talking how many dots of resources. 3 dots?
3. I'm rich.
Yeah. Not stupidly rich, but it's actually well within that.
Of course, I don't carry cash on me. That's ridiculous, especially in this city. But I'm happy to wire funds. Discreet. And then if your customer comes around looking for it, send him my way. I'm happy to sell it to him.
I can do that. If you're going to wire it, I've got a bank we can use for this one.
Perfect.
That, shall we say, doesn't turn over records.
It's the way I like it. I take the information from him. Once the funds are transferred, I will send my man to come and pick it up.
Yes. And he looks over. Jonathan, put up placard. Just put Miss D. And Mr. Clark just nods his head and comes over with a card that says, it's not for sale, and it just says Miss D at the bottom. You see him write it in a flowing script, actually, and put it there.
Beautiful penmanship. Okay. Yeah, so that way, in case he turns up. But if we hear anything, we'll let you know.
Well, thank you. Well, I always appreciate that because with the select clientele, you don't advertise. And losing customers is never good. Never good. Never.
So tell me, anything special about it, or is it just old?
Don't know. I know some of what comes, but not all of it.
Okay. I'll have it inspected.
Yes, Sophia was better at this kind of thing than I am. So, I just sell most things that come through.
Okay. Well, thank you, Dr. Benway.
It was nice meeting you.
Pleasure.
Roscoe, as always.
As always.
And he shuffles back to his office, leaving Jackie and Roscoe to finish perusing the store.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure Jackie and Roscoe are not going to have any conversation in the store.
No.
And they wait until they get back in Jackie's car. And
I give the banking information to Etienne, tell him to wire the funds, and then arrange for pickup of the statue.
Yes, ma'am.
It needs to be placed somewhere. I don't want that in my haven. It needs to be placed somewhere secure.
You say it's Egyptian sandstone?
Mm-hmm.
Won't match the club either.
Not even.
The cabaret, it does not fit. I have a bolt hole we can put it in.
Perfect. I know I can always rely on you.
Of course, ma'am. Of course.
All right. And then as we were driving back to Roscoe's place, we can have our conversation.
Yep.
So, what did you think of Benway?
Odd bird. That one.
He is. Yes, he is.
But
he's a good source, though.
He doesn't care about his clients. He cares about the objects.
Mm-hmm. That's good in a certain way.
It's very interesting. Because that would be why he didn't see any problem sending Marcel for you.
Mm-hmm. It does explain it a bit.
Because he doesn't care about the clients. He cares about the objects. Be careful with him.
Well, I haven't had this trouble with him before. I mean, I've dealt with him for quite a while. But I take it the book is something of a special object.
Yeah, I would assume so. Sorry, do I know that Portia has it? Or is that a private conversation?
Nope, you have not been told.
Okay. Is it secure?
As secure as... It's as secure as I think it can be. Which is to say, a lot less so than I thought it would be.
Oh, that's
Johnny
concerning.
Well, Johnny and I took it over to the Chantry, thinking that, if we could put it in the library, then no one would get a hold of it. But when I went back to check it out, to look at it, someone had checked it out.
Let me guess, the one who has a wing.
You're very perceptive, Jackie. It's almost like I didn't even have to tell you.
What the hell does she have on your regent?
Been wondering that myself. They do seem to have quite a special relationship. I mean.
Well, it's not like we're going to walk up into the Succubus Club and demand the book back. Let her choke on it for all we care.
Oh no.
It's unfortunate that you lost a source of potential research, but I'm sure there are other books out there that are quite intriguing.
There are.
I would consider that one a wash for now. If it just happens to turn up, well, then bonus.
Right.
Oh, my God. I just have to wonder what she doesn't have her hands in.
I'm pretty sure she has her hands everywhere.
At least everywhere important. Interesting.
Hands on the book, hands on the Regent, hands on Lamar.
That was hilarious.
Wasn't it?
He looked like his ass was lit on fire.
Maybe there's something he knows about her that he's just not telling us. But
no, I'm pretty sure he's just that frightened of her. But it lacked subtlety, and that's an issue, as I've stated before. But yeah, because I am fully of the opinion that we act as if we know nothing. We act as if nothing's changed. And as long as we do that, we won't really draw her notice.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't recommend questioning her about the book for some time.
No, I won't.
You may eventually just ask her if she's been able, if she's enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
In passing, if you consider that wise, I leave that up to you. But I wouldn't do that right away.
No, not for some time, if at all. I'll check back with the keeper in the chantry to see if the book's been returned.
Yeah.
That's about the safest way I can think of.
I think so too. So, because it's not like we have, engrossing conversations with Portia on the regular. So
that's true. Yeah.
Yes.
She's best taken in large crowds.
Yes. Indeed. So, tomorrow night is the gallery.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Are you okay? Good. I'm looking forward to it too. I'm hoping I can source some art. I was maybe hoping Benway might have something interesting, but
that's not really
his thing,
obviously.
Yeah. And, Middle Eastern and Egyptian artifacts are just not my thing. So, yeah, a little too European for that. But yes. So, basically, I'll see you tomorrow evening at the gallery.
Sounds good.
Okay.
I'll see you there.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
And Etienne takes Roscoe back to his haven. And then, of course, takes Jackie back to hers.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a night where Lamar and Jonathan are off doing other things, and Jackie and Roscoe had some time together while Destiny and Eleanor were bonding as well. And then the next night comes, which is the night of the art gallery. Now, is everyone, the four that are here, because you haven't heard from Lamar about going, and Jonathan, all you've gotten from him is that he's indisposed at the moment. To you, Roscoe, he said he's working with his family to research the wards.
Mm-hmm.
Do you plan to go as a group, or is it coming in separate waves, or does the coterie have a plan to go with the members who are going as one?
I thought we were all going as a group, since we were kind of invited as a group.
We can do that.
So you meet at the steakhouse,
Mm-hmm.
Sylvester's. Now, as the coterie gets there, it's another weekend because the art gallery is opening on a Friday night. But you still feel that latent hostility, but in some ways it's not as bad as it was.
Good.
It's less of a pressure cooker about to go off and more of a slow cooker, just simmering with anger. But it is different.
Good.
And as you arrive at Sylvester's, and Destiny and Eleanor, of course, probably, I know Destiny's eating lava cake, as she frequently does when she goes by the haven. And I will turn the scene over to the four members of the coterie here, minus the two that Roscoe's only gotten a reply from, and Lamar, who has not replied to anybody.
So, Eleanor, I picked up that secret.
You
They got it done. Yeah, they got it done so fast.
Does it look good? Does it look good?
It looks amazing. Do you want to show them your handiwork, or?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh,
Here.
I think we both should, since this was your idea too.
Okay. So Destiny reaches into her bag,
And
and she grabs out a picture that is covered in like a brown paper, like safety packaging almost, and places it on one of the tables.
Oh, did you get art for this place?
We did, sort of, kind of. Eleanor made it. It's really good.
you could call it art if you want to.
I was thinking that we could maybe take it and use it as like a secret button for a secret room or something. Preferably if it's the button to get into Lamar's quarters.
Oh, do open it and show us.
Okay.
All right.
Please,
And
yes.
together we're
See
going
it.
to reveal the drawing that Eleanor did that's kind of cartoony of a Lamar with a grimace on his
Wow.
face with snakes flying out of his trousers.
He will either find this extremely hilarious or he will be extremely testy about it.
Is there a difference?
Oh, well. It's fantastic. Really.
It is fantastic.
It's fantastic. I mean, you know.
It was Destiny's idea to have it framed and hung up here. To share with everybody.
Destiny, hang it where you will.
Okay. And
as you actually
awesome.
see, Jackie, she's actually wearing a pink blazer dress, but she has the crossbody purse that you gave her with it.
Ooh, nice. Destiny notices that, and she goes and hangs the picture in a place of prominence close to where the entrance to Lamar's private quarters in the Haven are.
So you can't possibly miss his eye when he goes by.
Right.
Well, we got to make sure that he can see what this. I mean, this rendition is beautiful. Have you seen?
It is.
It's stunning. Eleanor is actually a really good artist. This wasn't the only cute doodle that was on her walls.
Oh, thank you, Destiny.
So, on the subject of art, we're going to a real art gallery
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
How do we know?
Toreadors and everything.
With real toreadors and everything.
Well, we don't know who will be there other than the one who invited us and probably his partner. So.
Who's the one that invited you?
Luke, the gallery owner.
Okay. Is he an
hand
intimidating fellow, or should I?
I would say he is exceptionally charming.
Duly noted.
Oh, he appears to be blind.
Fantastic.
Mm-hmm. So, I can't wait for you to meet him. I think you will absolutely love him.
I can't wait either. This should be a fun night.
Yeah. So, if we're all ready, we can head that way.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Okay.
You two ready?
And are you taking just Jackie's car? Everybody riding in Jackie's vehicle?
Is there room?
I mean, you can put 3 in the back and 1 in the front next to Etienne.
Yeah, we could.
Okay.
It's a tight fit. Well, it's not even a tight fit.
Not
it's
even
actually
a tight
a full
fit.
vehicle.
It's
so
a
you can
full-size
fit 3 in the
sedan,
back.
so yeah, you can fit 3 adults in the back and
Yep.
1 in the front. Yeah.
So you ride over to check out his new art gallery, which is actually, it's not downtown. It's considered on the north side, which is where a lot of the art stuff is actually these days. And this is where we are going to go to break before everyone arrives, because let's not break the middle of the art gallery scene with a break. So enjoy the break music, enjoy the break art. And we will see you in 10 minutes.
Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. I've always been the hunter, nothing on my tail. But there was something in you I knew could make that change. To capture a predator who can't remain the prey, you have to become an equal in every way. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. So embrace the darkness, and I will help you see that you can be limitless and fearless if you follow me. We are the lions in the world of lions. We are the predators, the hunters, the hunters, the hunters. Become the beast. We don't have to hide. Do I terrify you? Do you feel alive? Do you feel the hunger? Does it howl inside? Does it terrify you? Or do you feel alive? Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin to burrow within. Do you burrow within? Do you feel the hunger? Does it howl inside? Does it terrify you? Or do you feel alive? Allow me to introduce myself, though I fear you've heard my name, and that you've heard the story of Countess Bathory. History is told by the victors, heroic warriors, and mad kings. Will you hear my story from the lips of Bathory? They call me King Demon, Queen of Hell, sadistic killer, a monster tale, bathing in the blood of virgins, beautiful, wealthy and powerful, a widow with political rivals keen to destroy me and take my property. My plea was never offered. All my confessors were all tortured, or how they destroyed me for my property. They put me up, shut me up, shut me up, put me up, put me up, shut me up, and told a story of a bitch called Bathory. Let's sucking demon, queen of hell, sadistic killer, a monster tale, bathing in the blood of virgins, beautiful, drinking the blood of virgins, youthful, the blood countess. Who is she really? Who is she really? Blood countess. Who is she really? Elizabeth Bathory.
Welcome back. Before the break, it was a bit of a independent scenes of bonding between coterie members that don't normally hang out and bond. And while each of them shared their own little bits, there was some interesting things revealed in there, and a hell of a picture of Lamar with snakes flying out of his pants. And I have a feeling Lamar's not going to take it in the same vein as everybody else, but I also have a feeling Destiny does not give a flying fuck how he takes it. He has made her feelings quite clear.
Not even a little bit.
Like no fucks, like negative fucks.
And so the coterie is heading to the gallery, located actually in the north side of Chicago in the arts and entertainment district in a lot of ways. Very high-class area, very prestigious. Yes?
Jackie would know that this is the domain of Toreador.
Actually, let me double-check exactly whether it's in the...
I believe it is.
It may be. Let me double-check. Because I know his particular thing, I don't think it's... The Toreador have claimed it.
Not his place, but the actual north side area, I believe, is claimed by Toreador.
No, actually, the Toreador have not claimed the whole north area. They do have a chunk of it.
Is his
Actually, let me see. No, Toreador is actually, if you look on the map.
Well, I don't have the map up.
Yeah, if you look on the map, they own a good chunk in the south. Was it South Loop?
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was the north side.
No, they're in the South Loop.
Okay, so it's Ventrue is north, basically downtown and slightly north.
Yep.
Okay. Got
Now,
it.
but where his is located
Is outside it?
Actually, no. His is located in the Ventrue section at the northernmost point of it. And that's why we have this amazing Google map that can be reviewed.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying.
Yep. Etienne pulls up outside the Linda Infield Art Gallery, which is where you were told it would be held. Now, this particular place is of interest to you because, from what you've heard recently, Annabelle has declared this an Elysium, this particular art gallery. And when you pull up, it's actually got, it's a full gallery. It's not just a sale area. It's an actual gallery. But there's also a note on the sign out front that they're having an art exhibit. And it's the kind where the stuff isn't expressly for sale, but
For the right price, it can be.
money talks, as always. And Etienne pulls up and opens the door to let everyone out of the vehicle because he is always consummate driver. Ma'am, I will find parking and wait at the vehicle. Just let me know when you're ready for me to pick you up.
Of course, thank you.
Miss Eleanor, Miss Destiny, Mr. Roscoe, good evening.
Thank you, Etienne.
And he nods and gets in the vehicle and pulls off. And as you're arriving, you're noticing that there are a few people coming out of the building, some going in. It's a public event. But as you get to the door, they're checking names at the door. And there's a guard, rather burly guy, very large. Looks like, I wouldn't call him a linebacker. He actually looks like the line, not one member of it. And he eyeballs and looks you up and down.
Jacqueline Durand?
Looks at a clipboard a minute.
With Destiny Jones, Eleanor Thurston, and Roscoe Akers.
Takes his pencil and he marks, you're on the list.
Thank you.
Please enjoy.
Thank you.
And you step into this art gallery and it's beautiful. I mean, there's some amazing art in here. But you also see that the main exhibits are closed, but there is a side gallery open, which is where the expo is. And the very first person you see is one that you all know, at least some of you have met her, but all of you know of her from functions at the court. And that's Alexis Santos, the Majoris Canis of Chicago, the big dog. A little bit more than a hound, a little bit less than a sheriff, and even a touch of being a scourge. And she is standing near the door to the expo area with her trademark scowl on her face. And she's got, long blonde hair. She's toned down the skull motif she'd had on. She's still wearing a jean jacket, which is definitely not in style anymore, and a pair of blue jeans. And she's got a lace-up front shirt. Shows a bit of cleavage, but she's not looking friendly at all as she stands there. And her eyes make contact with you all, and
Good evening, Alexa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do go in. I'm sure Luke will find you.
Oh, I'm sure. Thank you so much.
And she nods.
I walk in.
And you step in, and your estimation, 50, 60 people here tonight. As they're touring. The art exhibit, to describe it, is erotica. It is modern takes on some of the Kama Sutra poses. Some of it is almost to the edge of lewd, but not. It's still done very tastefully. It's also what's very popular at the moment. And as you step in the room, Luke is actually not far from the entrance, and he walks right over to you. Now, as always, you can tell Luke is blind. He even has his blind man's cane. But he knows when you step in the room and makes a beeline straight to you. And when you come over, when he approaches you, he bows. And when he speaks, the accent you heard the first night you met him is totally gone. Not a hint of the Spaniard in him. Good
Is it
evening.
a flat accent now, or is it something else?
Unplaceable English.
Interesting.
No sign of an accent at all. No way to identify the location. He bows. Welcome.
Thank
I
you.
am Hector Segura, and welcome to my gallery, my exhibit.
Thank you so much for the invitation.
Jackie,
Yes.
Roscoe,
Yes.
and I smell an Eleanor.
Yes.
But there is another with you I heard walk up, one I have not met.
Good evening. My name is Destiny.
Enchanted, madame. And he takes your hand and kisses the back of your hand very slightly with his lips, which are, of course, dry.
Merci beaucoup.
I'm glad you could make it. I hope you enjoy what we've put together. I did not make this, of course, but I like it. And it should sell.
Stunning.
I want to roll an insight check.
Go ahead. What are you trying to insight?
If he's lying.
Let's see what you can do. As far as you can tell, he's not lying.
Hang on, I'm not done.
Oh, you're going to willpower that?
Oh, yes, I am.
Okay. As far as you can tell, he's not lying. He didn't do it.
Interesting. Because Jackie had thoughts that maybe he was the artist.
No.
Who is the artist? The pieces are quite intriguing.
Well, there's different artists for different pieces. Some, of course, would wish to remain anonymous.
Of course.
And he points at a few that definitely don't have an artist placard with them. Now, there's a number, you do recognize some prominent Chicago artists and some on the placards of others, but the ones that are anonymous, no name. I particularly like those, actually. Done by a very dear friend.
The ones that don't have an artist placard, are they significantly better or worse, or like are they in a different style than all the rest?
I will let you roll. It's going to be, you can go intelligence, you can even go wits if you want, academics, or honestly, I will even let you use performance, because this is art related, even though it's not quite the same, but of course, none of these are your strong point. But let's see, hang on, I gotta scroll up and see these. We'll close these windows.
I rolled my art history knowledge
Okay.
because I would know enough about styles.
Yep. 2 for Jackie.
That was 4. I rolled willpower.
Okay. 4 for Jackie. 6 for Destiny.
Good job.
Impressive. The style of these other pieces is a lot more rudimentary. It is not quite as refined as some of the other pieces, but there's a raw edge to them, a passion, a kind of a gritty realism that shows that they've made up for their skill with intensity. And you do catch that all of these 3 anonymous ones, in each one, there are 3 people involved.
Interesting subjects, and definitely passion went into it.
Yes. The way they're entwined, you can see the lovers. But like with many, when you have 3, as you can look, and he points to one, you can see the way their eyes are drawn. They're lovers. Each one is watching one of the others. Is that jealousy in their eyes, or is it passion?
It is a fine line between the two.
Yes, it is. And depending on where you stand, you'll notice you interpret it slightly different. It's an amazing piece.
Jackie's going to walk over to the one he pointed out more closely.
Okay.
And inspect it from different angles.
And it is. For some reason, based on the angle, when the shadows fall different and the angle of the canvas changes your perspective, it shifts from, sometimes it looks more like love and adoration. And other times, the faces take on a positively, almost gruesome look of burning jealousy between each other. Whoever did this, though not skilled, has a touch of genius in their art.
Absolutely.
Or a touch of madness.
This is good. Very good. Might be just what I'm looking for.
That particular piece is going to be difficult. It is part of my private collection. Now, of course, everything is for sale.
Well, it could also be on loan to be showcased in a certain appropriate facility.
Is this your cabaret?
No. Although it may be semi-appropriate there. I'm thinking a much larger audience. Have a new venue.
Oh, I've heard rumors.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I want to stress for a blind man. He seems awful aware. Everything around him, everyone looking at him, or when someone moves in relation to him. I've heard rumors of a new place.
Indeed. I'm sourcing decor, as you would.
I will have to speak with the artist.
Much appreciated.
About whether she will loan it.
And I would be happy to ensure that you get a favor for your role as broker.
Of course. Of course. But please, enjoy the exhibit.
Thank you.
We will have time to talk later, if fate perhaps wills it. It's a pleasure meeting you, Destiny.
It was a pleasure meeting you as well.
And once again,
I look
Eleanor.
forward to talking again.
And Roscoe.
Yes.
And he nods. And as he steps away from you, you do notice he starts using the cane. But you also notice that it's an act. Leaving you all standing almost in a pocket of silence together by this 3 pieces of art that are beautiful, but also disturbing in a way.
Can you describe the subjects of the paintings?
Why, yes, if you ask that. All 3 of them involve a man with dark hair, a woman with blonde hair, and the third individual, in one is another man, and in the other 2 are women, and the hairs vary between the 2. But each picture has one thing in common. Dark-haired man with a blonde woman.
Mm-hmm.
And the third person, does that change?
It changes. Each one has a different third person.
Okay.
Interesting. Jackie will pocket that.
Does the man seem familiar to us in any way?
No, but yes. At certain angles, there's a resemblance to a Luke. But at other angles, normally the angles that show more of the jealousy and the grotesqueness, it's not him, it's more monstrous.
Okay. And does the blonde one remind us of Alexa in any way?
Blonde hair, long.
So this is a record of Aluk, Alexa, and their plaything.
If you wish to make that assumption.
Okay. That's what Roscoe's thinking.
Do you say that out loud?
No. But I do make mention that it does look a lot. It is reminiscent of Aluk and Alexa and other people, but
You mentioned that.
yeah. But I don't make any judgments about anything. I just that it's reminiscent of those two. I wonder who that artist is.
I have ideas, but it doesn't matter.
And as you're talking, you see a woman approaching. She mid-30s, perhaps. But the outfit she wears, which is funny, it's 50s haute couture. Very classic. Strawberry blonde hair, perfect hourglass figure. She's actually very confident as she's approaching you all staring, and you can see from, even as she's walking up, her green eyes are piercing. And I have shared the photo to go with it. She's actually got a wine glass in her hand tonight with a very, very red wine. Interesting collection. These three in particular, isn't it?
Yes,
Indeed.
Yes, it is.
Oh, sorry, I haven't introduced myself. Amelia Locke. She reaches her hands out.
I take her hand in mine and say, Jacqueline Durand.
Jacqueline.
And
Is her hand cold when I touch it?
Yes.
Okay.
In turn, I shake her hand and introduce myself as Roscoe Akers.
Ah, so that would make you Destiny, and she looks at you, and Eleanor. Sorry, I am a reporter, so it's my thing to know these. I'm doing a piece tonight on the art exhibit, of course.
Wonderful.
It's a small online-only paper, but we have our dedicated following, and of course, what better society to cover than an art exhibit by the well-known now Hector. And she's got a little smirk on her face, a knowing smirk that she hasn't even tried to hide.
Jackie shares the little smirk with her. Indeed, it is an interesting collection overall, showcasing many artists.
Yes, but these three are the ones that grab the most attention as people come in.
Of course.
Very, very shrewd of him to put them here, of course, because everyone sees it first. And then when you go and see the rest of the gallery, you always compare them
to what you've seen here.
So, Destiny, what do you think of the art?
It exudes passion. Are you talking about these three in particular or the art as whole?
All of it, of course, but you can tell me what you think of these and the rest if you wish.
I mean, these three exude passion, and although the artist doesn't seem to be trained, he's talented, or she, I guess. I think Hector said that the artist was a female. I'd love to meet her. That type of passion would be interesting to be around, wouldn't it?
You are new here in some ways. She leans in closer. It's pretty much a court secret. It seems our Canis Majoris there is a bit of an artiste herself.
That is my assumption.
But if you ask her about it, she won't take it kindly.
She didn't seem too pleased.
Oh, she's a bitch. As a high-class bitch myself.
I mean.
Or as you ask some of the people around here, a snoopy nosy bitch. I recognize my own kind.
I like snoopy nosy bitches.
You'll find not many do. But
Well, I'm one that does. So I'd love to chat some more sometime.
oh, I'm always willing to interview various people. She pulls out a business card and it says Amelia Locke. It even gives a website. And it's got an email and a phone number. She passes you a business card.
Oh, you report on things in society and things that are opening,
Well,
right?
she looks around a bit. I tend to report on a number of different things. Most of them, things dealing with us. In, of course, a way that can be reported.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Mind if I get your card?
Oh, of course.
I
Here.
have certain...
Anyone else want one? She pulls out another one and she hands it to her and with her, brightly red polished fingernails.
Mm-hmm. And I take it. Interesting.
Would
Because
Eleanor and Roscoe wish one?
I'll take one.
She passes one. Roscoe?
Thank you.
Well, not
Thank
to be
you.
left out.
Miss Locke, there is something that I probably will discuss with you. We have a venture we are pursuing, an opening of a venue soon.
Ah.
And there may be performances at my other venue that I wouldn't mind being reported on.
I've heard of your other venue. I haven't had a chance to go there yet, but I'm sure Tatiana and I will stop in one night to see.
That would be lovely.
She does not come out with me when I'm working, but
Yes, well...
I'm sure we'll pay at least a social call. Now, this new venue, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Will you all be there?
From time to time, I'm certain.
Yeah, sure. We'll have a chance to talk then. Always good to get the inside scoop on what's going on in the city.
Of course.
And she gets that knowing smirk again and gives everybody a wink.
Well, it was a pleasure meeting your acquaintance, Miss Locke.
It's a pleasure.
Nice
I need to
meet you
move on
again.
now. If I'm seen talking too long to you, they'll think we're plotting something.
Not this time, right?
Well, my dear.
Maybe next time.
Every time.
Yes. When you're the nosy bitch, you're always planning something. She walks off, leaving you to circulate. And as you're circulating, it's packed. I'll let y'all have a discussion about things for a bit. Remember, you're in a little bit of a public place, so you can't get too obvious, but I'll give you a little bit of time for your scene.
And Jackie is literally just making the rounds, going to different pieces, inspecting them while having conversations with various people looking at the art.
And the art is, it's all good art. He's got an eye. It's obvious. He knows what he's doing.
Interesting.
And any other pieces in the exhibits stick out
Nothing
to
that
us?
stands out like the ones at the entrance.
Okay.
But they are all erotic, various types of nudity, various entwined positions. But the whole thing seems to have a general theme of the beauty of love and the beauty of, well, the more carnal desires.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Are there any modern minimalist-esque pieces?
Not with this exhibit.
Now, the rest of the clientele that we're mingling with, what general things do we pick up from them, and what kind of people are they?
Snooty, rich.
Okay.
They're all either wearing evening gowns or
Business attire.
Suits.
Mm-hmm.
And none of the suits are off the rack. There's a lot of money you can feel in this room at the moment. You think you recognize a few of them as some of the high society of Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Well, would we have seen them in the society pages?
Society pages on TV. Some of them you may have run into at various Elysium type events that are open to the public, which means non-kindred do attend as well. Kind of the unofficial Elysium events like this one.
Mm-hmm.
Do we get a feeling of like what the mix is of kind to kindred?
So far, the only ones you've recognized has been Alexa and Luke, and now, of course, you've met one more. Amelia. People are scribbling notes all of a sudden.
Yep. Oh, just keeping track of who we meet.
I missed her first name the first time around, so I had to...
It's Amelia.
Yeah. Last name Locke, right?
Let me pull her back up, make sure I have it. Yep.
Yep.
Amelia Locke.
Because you never know when these people are just going to show up in the middle of some other
Out of
scene.
the blue.
Well, you know, it's good to know who you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
When I have a quiet moment, I take a look at the card. What is the website?
It's it says Chicago Style and Society. That's all it says. And it's actually, the website is chicagostyle.com.
ChicagoStyle.com. Okay.
Don't put that in your web browser. I don't know if it exists.
We didn't buy that URL. Thank you. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
As I'm looking around, can I roll something to see if there's anybody that stands out to me?
Well, of course, anyone who wishes to do that can do that. Wits awareness.
Okay.
Okay.
Or you can go with intelligence etiquette. Trying to think of anything else maybe we can use with that. If you got a better one, go ahead and suggest it. I'll tell you whether you can use that instead.
I want to look around to see if there's anybody who not stands out to me, but seems like they're slightly out of place.
Okay. That's good for you to say that.
Can I roll investigation with my espionage specialty for that?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Should have been extra die in that roll for me. It didn't come through.
Yeah, it says +1 die. Yeah, you rolled
It
6
does.
dice. It has a +1.
So wits and awareness.
No, it said
Should've been-
you rolled resolve awareness. So try it again.
What? Okay.
Yep. You're as blind as I am. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
So interesting rolls. For Eleanor, or not Jackie. Actually, Eleanor's got 4. That works as well.
There we go.
Yeah, she and I both have 4.
Yep. Destiny has 2. See what Roscoe's got 3. For Eleanor and Jackie, there's a current to the crowd at the moment. Somebody's moving through it that's causing a stir in the people present. Can't see who it is,
I'm going to move closer.
but it's definitely moving through the crowd, and everywhere whoever this is goes.
The crowd separates.
Yeah, and swirls around them. Almost like as she moves through the crowd, people are entering her orbit as she moves, and then they break away.
I'm going to move closer, try to get my eyes on that person.
Okay.
Me too. I want to look.
And you two, of course, Destiny and Roscoe, you see Jackie and Eleanor start moving off from you all. And as soon as they start moving, you also notice that there's somebody moving through the crowd. As you approach her, going to share a record. You come upon a stunningly beautiful woman. Stunning. If she was walking down a runway right now, you would not be surprised.
Mm-hmm.
She's got ash blonde hair, shoulder length, Tonight she's wearing a very stylish and current fashion gown. Startling blue eyes. This is an individual none of you have met, but you all know by reputation. This is Annabelle. Primogen of Clan Torador.
Interesting. I'm not going to approach her. I'm just wanted to get eyes on who it was.
Same.
And
I'm not surprised.
you actually notice she's slowly working her way towards your group.
Oh, shit.
There she is.
Well, Destiny, here's your chance to meet the Toreador. All of Toreador wrapped up in one little package.
And she basically whispers, be respectful.
I mean, here's a chance to meet the person that my foster sire has told me to stay away from at all
Just
costs.
be respectful.
Great.
And as she gets closer, you can't help but your eyes being drawn to her.
Really?
She has a presence in the crowd that is hard to ignore. And as she's moving, you do see people almost being tugged behind her in orbit as she cuts through until she gets close to your group. And with just a single hand gesture, all the people that were with her disperse. Darlings. Good evening, darlings.
Good
Annabelle, good evening.
Good evening.
Very smart. So many address me with title in places such as this, when it should not be done.
Too many ears.
Well, of course. Of course. Destiny.
Good evening.
How are you finding things tonight?
Stunning.
I'm glad.
And yourself?
Oh. It's an event that I had to attend. I can't miss the art gallery. Luke has made a name for himself. So I must be here. I do find the art fascinating, though. Some of it's slightly crass, but that, as they say, is in, darling. So how are you getting along with your new friends?
Oh, they're wonderful. I only wish that the coterie had included another Toreador.
And she
But-
leans closer. Careful what you say in public, dear.
Ah, yes.
Obviously, Jackie has not been teaching you correctly yet. You must correct that, Jackie.
Of course it will be done.
Indeed. She, has been trying to teach me, but
You are not to blame for your rather unpleasant upbringing. I can't
I'm
imagine
glad.
being stuck with those disgusting brutes for so long. It's just too much. Too much.
It does take time to decondition.
10 years.
I couldn't stand to allow that to continue. Hopefully, in time, you take your rightful place in the culture. We really should talk at some point.
Yes, well, we really should. I want nothing more than to be able to take my rightful place in the culture.
I will. When I have time, I will talk with you.
Oh, of course.
And the
Of
grin she
course,
gets
you're
is
busy.
positively feral
Mm-hmm.
or cat-like
Uh-huh.
with a mouse.
Mm-hmm.
You really should come to more of these, all of you. It's so rare that I see different faces. Normally,
But
it's
if we
the
were to
same
come
people.
to these, then we would just become another face in the crowd, wouldn't we?
Oh, touche, touche. Darling, you're quick.
She is indeed.
Very quick. But be careful. Sometimes you can be too quick.
I won't have that problem.
And you didn't notice that somebody has been moving up behind her. And you hear a gruff voice go, why don't you just quit fucking toying with them? And you look past her. And you talked about somebody who doesn't fit in. That was asked by somebody. Well, there is an individual behind her that really doesn't fit in. He is, I think the best way to call it is 80s goth punk. Shaved head. He's got a leather jacket on in this event. A dagger tattoo that you can see over his shaved head, over his ear. Safety pin hanging through his nose. I mean, this is not somebody who should be here. And when she turns around, you can actually hear her hiss. Who invited you? Doesn't matter who invited me, bitch. I'm here. And because of the rules, I can be here. Unless you got a problem with that, and you can take it up with your boss. And she actually looks back and goes, you can't teach these. So caught up in that culture that they don't respect any authority anymore. And he just looks at her and goes, well, fuck you very much, Annabelle. Fuck you very much. You must excuse me.
Of course.
I don't like the company.
Of course.
And as she walks away, you can feel her staring daggers into this man. As he has an insolent grin on his face, just thinks it's funny. As she walks off, he just looks, don't let that stuck-up bitch scare you.
And that was certainly one way to shut her up.
All of you loyal types are easy to rile up.
Some more than others.
That's why I like it. Come on, you had to have heard of me. Anyone?
Have I?
No.
Have we?
No, afraid not.
I must be slipping.
Sorry, I've been locked in the sewers for 10 years.
Yeah, sorry, man. No.
Ew.
Yeah.
That's rebelling, isn't it?
You should try it.
Revolting. No. No. I am Genghis.
Khan?
Now, that name you have heard.
Okay.
He's a notable power player in the Anarchs
Okay.
around Chicago.
Interesting. Interesting. So, Genghis, do you by chance enjoy art?
No.
No. You just enjoy making a scene.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Go. And he plays with the safety pin.
There are some that would say making a scene is art. Genghis. How do you feel about that?
I've made an art of making a scene. Does that count?
Fantastic. And I just, nod to him and have this sly little grin and say, Jacqueline Durand.
Nice to meet you. And your friends?
Roscoe Akers.
Eleanor Thurston.
My name is Destiny, and I'm going to take a step
Destiny.
away.
And he leans in close, and he just lightly crosses the side of your face. So it was fate we met. And then he gets that insolent grin
his
again.
hand away. But
Feisty.
while I'm smacking his hand away, I'm going to keep smiling and say, you can say that it's fate. I'm putting on a show because if Annabelle sees you stroking my face and me not reacting like this, things might go poorly for me. Here's another show. I'm going to step forward and slap him.
And he actually just laughs. I mean, a loud laugh that causes half the crowd to turn to look to see what the hell's going on. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. My bad. And he's like playing it up.
It's a good performance.
I've been counterculture so long that if I don't act this way, they get a little upset. Of course, because I haven't heard of you, that tells me you're pretty much on the straight and narrow.
I mean, I told you that I've been locked in the sewers for 10 years. How would you have heard of me?
True. I can hear more. You can come on down to the south side one night.
I don't think that I'd be allowed to do that.
Oh, you're allowed. Come on down to Rat's Bar. Don't be scared of these fucking straights and fucking towing the line bastards around here. If they were actually in charge of shit, you think I'd be standing here?
With that, Jackie walks off.
I seem to have upset someone. Mission accomplished.
She's actually bored with the conversation.
I know, but that's what he says. Mission accomplished.
Nah, she's just like that.
A lot of you types are. Don't know how to have fun anymore.
It's been a while.
I go and start a fight and then everyone gets mad at me, but I mean, got to do something different. How in the hell can you stand staring at this all night?
It's gorgeous. How can you not appreciate it?
Because it doesn't change anything.
Art doesn't change anything.
Has it changed shit in this city in the past 30 years? Has it changed shit for those who are at the bottom of the rung, who are always fucking getting pushed down and held down? No, it doesn't. None of this shit changes anything. Only thing that changes shit is revolution.
Which is oftentimes begun by artists.
Or people who like to cause problems and stir shit up.
Artists.
As I said, I have made an art out of causing a scene. You're quiet over there, and he looks right at you, Eleanor. You're quiet.
Oh, I was just enjoying the conversation.
You could do with a tattoo.
I like it a little bit better than what's on the walls, you see.
You could... You want a tattoo? We can get you. Nice.
Yours is very nice. Does it symbolize something?
Symbolizes I was a kid that got fucking ink. I mean, it's hard to get one. Well, it's harder than it used to be to get a tattoo. Let's put it that way. There is somebody who's very good at what she does that can do it, I heard. I just don't want to pay her price.
Steep price.
So you have to get it done pretty often then?
No, I've had this since before. Before I become this wonderfully charming individual that got smacked and ran off another one.
Oh, it's a show.
Isn't it always?
Mm-hmm.
Always a show. I didn't really care about talking to you all. I just wanted to tweak Annabelle's nose a bit. She's a little bit upset that I'm allowed to come to these, but she can't keep me out.
You can go find her again, make her mad.
Oh, I will. I will. Because her boss has said these events are open to all, no matter your affiliation. So what better time for me to show up and to remind them that just because I don't live in the city doesn't mean I don't have interests.
What are your interests?
Revolution, my boy. What I said. It's time for those who are oppressed to throw off their shackles. Same war has been fought for years. Eventually we'll get it right. You guys should come down to the bar sometime. Just give it some thought. I mean, it's not quite as fancy as this, you can bet. But once we get down in the pit, everybody's friends in the mosh pit. I'll make sure, you don't have too much fun. And he gets this, honestly, a belligerent look on his face and turns and walks off. Now, where did Jackie go when she walked away?
Oh, she just went moving. Just mingling again, basically.
When he walks away, I call after him, "Thank you for the show."
And he turns around and he does a very overemphasized, like,
Bow.
He even kicks his leg back like he's doing a full court bow. And that, again, causes a number of people to stare at him and wonder why this 80s goth punk looks like he's straight out of a movie is acting like this. And you hear a murmur through the crowd about, a number of them you catch, why would they let someone like that in here? He must be really rich to be allowed in like that, and those kind of things. And
that was fun.
Yep. I leave it to the players for a bit.
No. I mean, this is supposed to be open to all, like you said, but I wonder how he got by the doorman.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's open to all, then the doorman would have let him through, right?
But he was obviously not letting everyone through. So.
That is a good question.
I mean, don't you think that it would be open to all of our kind?
I would
our
think
friends?
I would think that's what got him in.
Yeah. He's got friends like we do. That's how we got in, right?
Mm-hmm.
I hope Annabelle hears about that slap.
I don't think there's many people here who didn't hear that.
Destiny?
Yes.
You did really well.
Yeah. Thanks, Eleanor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna need to drink tonight. I wish I could drink.
You can have a lava cake. It'll make up for it.
That's better than drinking. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
We should go to Sylvester's after this again.
Okay.
Pick up some lava cake. Where did Jacqueline go?
Oh, she just took a walk. She's just mingling around.
If we let her mingle too long, she's gonna buy like every single piece of this.
And when you look around for Jackie, you actually see her talking to someone that you recognize. Well, actually, Destiny only recognizes him slightly. Because while Jackie had wandered off,
someone had found Jackie.
Someone found Jackie. A very disturbing someone. Tall, with a look on his face that's, how was it described? Horrifyingly gorgeous, hideously gorgeous.
Oh, Nero.
He's definitely got that look.
I mean, you can put that picture up again because he has eye candy.
I mean, we can do it just so
he is freaking gorgeous.
Just to remind everybody. Here we go. I will post it up just to remind everybody. Long hair.
Mm-hmm.
He does seem to be wearing something that's probably a good 20 years out of date. And he walks up to Jackie, and at first he doesn't say anything. He just stands there. Staring at a picture that Jackie was walking by. Though he obviously approached her.
Oh, Jackie's going to wait for him to speak.
Do you see the brutality in the picture?
I do. I see many things. Art is one of my passions.
Those that are here, they see only what they wish to see. They think of it only as lust.
No.
But it's not.
There's a brutal passion in it.
It's all violence. You can see it in each one. It's hard to understand them anymore. Do you understand them?
Sometimes. I'm not so far removed.
You remember when I last spoke to you?
Indeed.
Have you heard the violence? Have you heard the screams of the street, the pain?
Likely not in the way you do. But I have felt an unease.
It's what woke me. There's something angry in the city. It sings to me sometimes. It's hard to explain. But
That is fascinating.
you appreciated the music,
I did.
and you see the violence in this.
I do.
Where's your friend?
The one you were looking for last time?
Yes. Lamar.
He is not one for events such as these if he can avoid them.
I would like to meet him.
I will inform him.
I'd like to see what he sees. He's been on the other side. He's seen the violence. I wonder, does it sing in his blood?
That is an interesting question.
And would I be able to let it loose?
Now, Nero,
What?
was that a threat?
No. It was a question.
Interesting.
I don't interact well anymore. I'm out of practice. I've been told I lack subtlety by Kathy.
Those who care about us sometimes are more perceptive than we are of ourselves.
Words of a poet. But it's also those that hurt us the most sometimes.
Indeed. Indeed.
Very strange. I came here tonight just to see if I could feel.
Can you?
Not this. I hear the music. But it's not the tune of these. It's different.
You make me almost wish I could hear it,
But you can.
to understand it.
But you can. Listen. Truly listen. Not with your ears, but with that lurks inside us all. That sleeps within us. Listen with that. It's in there. It responds to violence. It always does. It knows.
I tend to keep mine on a tight leash.
We all try. But the music sings. And it likes to dance.
Do you enjoy dancing?
Not the same way.
Or is it just that which lurks within?
Not the same way. In my youth, yes.
That's a shame.
But not for many years.
That is a shame.
Do you know what it's like to lose the music and then find it again?
No, I've still been hunting my own music.
Talk to me when you do. And he turns and just walks away. And the coterie sees him just walking away from Jackie. And the crowd just parts around him as he walks. It's almost as if just his sheer presence, they don't acknowledge him. You don't see anybody
staring
or flinching, but the crowd just
moves
parts
away
around him as if they sense that there's a monster in their midst.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
And I leave the scene to the players.
And Jackie's just standing there kind of subtly shaking her head.
I'll walk over to her. Hey, Jackie, what's up? What did Nero have to say?
A lot.
What?
Not here.
Mm.
Too many
Okay.
years.
Mm.
He does want to meet with Lamar.
For what
I
reason?
think he's curious about him. More than anything, I don't think it's truly threatening. I think it's just curiosity. I don't know. He gave me much to think on.
Okay.
And so, the coterie spends the remainder of the evening in this art gallery. Does anyone look to purchase a piece? Now, we know the 3 you were told are rather expensive and can't be bought with money.
If there are tasteful renditions, Jackie would purchase one.
It will cost you one of your resource dots for the next 2 sessions
Perfect.
to buy one.
Mhm.
Very nice piece. Anyone else have one to buy?
I will appreciate them from a distance.
I'm people watching.
You have the same issue you have a lot of times when you people watch, Eleanor.
Uh-oh.
You don't have visions, but you see glimpses of things, pieces. Sometimes you see the faces of who they really are. Not the air. You don't see it as their real face, but you can tell when you look at them who they are really. Though this is a high-class group, very well connected. You're not quite sure whether you're the bigger monster or they are. And as the evening winds down, you don't get a chance to talk to Luke again. Though you do see Alexa watching you at various points, always with the scowl. That not once tonight have you seen disappear.
No, because her work is being featured. She's probably not too happy about that.
And when the evening winds down and it's clear the event has ended, you don't see Annabelle again. You do catch glimpses of Genghis until Annabelle disappeared. And then shortly thereafter, you don't see him anymore. As if once his sport left, he wasn't interested anymore.
The game was no longer fun.
No, it wasn't. And you return to Jackie's car, where Etienne awaits to take you to your destinations. And I turn it over to the final scene of the night to the players.
So Genghis was trying to recruit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, his elevator pitch was lacking
Significantly. I have a feeling that things are not as up and up as he's claiming they are.
Oh, they never would be.
Well, I'm just saying,
ever?
I don't necessarily mean like, as legitimate. I mean as well as he's portraying it.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
It does make me wonder, because they do tend to attract quite a few young. Something to consider. But Nero, interesting enough, wants to meet with Lamar, and it seems to be truly born out of curiosity.
Okay, nothing Kathy K related. He's just interested.
I think it just led him to be curious because Kathy noticed him. You know, that's what I'm thinking. Now, I don't know. Can I roll an instincts check on this?
Of course you can.
Thank you.
I will let her roll that.
Because her instincts, well, they were not solid. That's all right. I'll save. Oh, really?
Literally, immediately, it won't let her reroll willpower. And, you know, I'm going to bug that on their forms. I'm going to put that in.
Okay. So that gave me 3.
3. There was definitely curiosity. Though his statement about...
It seemed threatening, but
he's hard to read when they're at that...
He's really hard to read because he is so cold. And
is it because he's old?
He's
different.
I think both. I don't know what came out of his torpor, but holy crap, he is really distant. But yeah, so, I mean, he's so detached that it's hard to read sometimes, but it felt like curiosity, but the way he phrased it, it was almost a threat, but not really, and I questioned him about that.
How did he phrase it?
He basically phrased it like, he's saying that he can hear the music of the city and that it's like violence and that kind of stuff, and that but let me finish. He wondered about Lamar because of him being former Sabbat. If that music sang in his blood. And if he could pull it out. Please, Roscoe, let me finish. That, if he could pull it out or set it free, I think is what he actually said. That was, I asked him, is that a threat? And he said, no, he didn't intend it as that. But that's not to say that he wouldn't try to legitimately set Lamar's Vitae free. But he didn't see it as threatening. Now, go ahead. Yeah, please give me your comments on this.
I was just, he said something about hearing it in the city too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what I was going to say, and I'm sorry for interrupting, but he brought that up when we were at the baby chorus show too. He kept asking, did we hear in the brutality in the music,
the violence in the music? And I told him I could, which I could. I mean, just like I could see it in the paintings tonight. It was a brutal passion in those paintings that hopefully will be in our new club. So, Aluk is going to try to broker that for me. And he basically approached me because I could recognize it. He seemed hopeful that I could hear it too. And I told him not yet. I'm not that distant yet. He made it sound like it was coming from, well, what we call our beast. I believe he is far removed from what he once was.
Does the city have a beast?
That is an interesting question, Eleanor. Or perhaps enough brutality and trauma has happened here.
I have seen it.
What have you seen?
Sometimes glimpses around the city, blood and violence, and sometimes in images, sometimes just a feeling. Everywhere it echoes. much in the way that our domain is alive, the rest of the city seems to be alive. And there's so much of it that's angry.
Indeed. Destiny, you did very well in a very tense situation. I am proud of you.
Shouldn't be.
Why do you say that?
I essentially threw you under the bus at one point, and I didn't mean to do that. I just... Let me pay for half of that painting you bought.
Truly, there's no need.
I don't have much, but I need to make it up to you. Let me pay for half of that painting.
Fine, if you must.
And that will mean both of you lose 1 dot for 1 session. The next session, you're down 1 dot of resources.
Okay.
I was hoping to talk to you about another venture. I know that we've got a lot on our plates right now with the club potentially opening soon. But I had an idea for something that might help us clean up the domain a little bit. I was thinking of a clinic of sorts to help drug addicts and individuals who might be able to benefit from some arts-based therapies.
Interesting. Now, are you wanting to do this as a medical type clinic with behavioral components?
Yes.
Okay.
That was the thought. I have a friend who has put some money into a foundation called the Prospect for Polaris Foundation.
Interesting.
And they want to open up a clinic, and they were looking for a location, and I was thinking that maybe we could have it be on the northern end of our domain.
Near the rack.
Near the rack. We could pull people in and...
From both.
From both. Our domain, down from the rack, and...
Yeah. I see it. That's a brilliant idea.
And it would actually help me with not having to work so hard. For my non-lava cake meals. A girl cannot subside on lava cake alone, right, Eleanor?
Not on lava cake alone, no.
You know, a blood doll is very handy until they, well, wear out. But yes. So, luckily Peter is a sturdy sort, but, yes, I would be happy to assist you with that. I may have some folks that can... I'll reach into my connections to see if perhaps some of my connections know of individuals involved in the medical or possibly behavioral side of things. Okay. Some of them may. So we might be able to find out, what we need to do to get this up and running.
All right. That would be really helpful. I, as you know, don't really have much in the way of connections yet. And my partner would like to be on the silent side of things.
I understand. I also know, I know about like night, liquor licenses and, all those permits and things like that. But I can reach out to my contacts to find out what we need.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I don't think you're doing a terrible job. I think you were given a shit job, and...
You're really not as bad as you make yourself out to be.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Well, none of us are the good guys. As hard as we try.
And while having this discussion, the talk of the beast of the city, and whether it has its own beast, causes Eleanor You rolled 7 successes on a premonition. Impressive. To lose focus. And to see the city. And a slumbering beast. It's not kindred. The land itself. The water of the lake nearby. The very essence the city was built on. Slumbered for years, but was awake at the same time. You can see it. And it's angry. Very angry. And its tendrils wrap through the whole place. Somewhere in it all, there's one individual who knows. But you don't know who it is. But there is one in the city who knows what that beast is. And this is where we end this episode. Thank you all. For the viewer XP, Destiny won the viewer XP.
She knocked it out of the park last session.
Thank you guys.
Destiny gets 2 experience. Jackie, Roscoe, and Eleanor get 2 experience.
But Destiny gets a bonus one.
And Destiny gets 1 more for the bonus, so she gets 3. And then Jonathan and Lamar get 1 because they did not make it. But hopefully they feel better next week because Lamar missed out on some fun.
Get better.
You know, we all get sick. Hopefully I don't, because that would definitely put a crimp on things around here.
I miss our creepy Tremere and Mr. Clan, I'll fuck you up.
In some ways, maybe it's good that he wasn't here tonight at the art gallery.
That was
Him
good.
and Genghis would have gotten along great.
I know, right?
It's quite possible, actually,
It's quite possible, actually.
because of his statements about how, you know, Camarilla's just one big circle jerk patting each other on the back. And I'd like to
of course it is, but it works.
Yes.
Fuck you.
I'd like to thank all the viewers for tuning in this, and the support for this particular show has been amazing.
It's been amazing. Thank you, everyone.
We're reaching the end of this season.
Getting close.
Getting close. If you like what we're doing, you can give us a follow here on Twitch. You can give us a subscribe. You know, if you've got Amazon Prime, get a free subscription. If you're watching this on YouTube, give us a subscribe over there. Now, I've got a special announcement I have to make.
Hang on, before you do that, go to Discord and vote for who gets the player XP.
That's right. Vote. Please
Discord
vote.
links in the chat over here.
Yep. Figure out who gets. Don't give it to me. I don't get the XP.
No, do not level up our storyteller.
Give it to Nero. No,
Give it
don't.
to Nero.
Don't give it to Nero.
Don't give it to Nero. Jesus Christ. He is so fucking creepy. Fascinating, but creepy.
He has
And,
no humanity.
I know.
I've got my own special announcement. Next week's episode, we will, during the episode, be giving away a $50 gift card to Drive Through RPG. So you're going to watch chat. You're going to have to pay attention to chat because during next week's episode, I'm going to say when you're supposed to enter, and that's when the giveaway starts, and you enter to get your chance to win.
And you'll have instructions on how to enter.
Yep. I'm pretty sure it's just
It's a command.
a command for giveaway, but check the chat, watch the chat, because all you have to do is put that command in, and somebody's going to get a $50 gift card for Drive Through RPG.
Mm-hmm.
And it won't be me because I'm not allowed to win.
Nope. Or me, because I'm not allowed to win.
Yep. Or Lance because he irritated me and was mean to me on Discord. Just kidding.
It's a fair cop.
But and thank you all. If you want to check out other great content, look at our friends over here. RPG Table, that's Junie. She does a vampire game Saturdays afternoons.
Sylvanov does a vampire game on Saturday evenings.
Yep.
Yep.
And Macabre Derek's on after this.
Mm-hmm.
Got
At
some good
8:30
people.
Eastern.
Yep, got some good people. Anime Panda, if you're European, Anime Panda streams middle of the day because she's
She plays
In
video
Europe.
games and does body paint
an art. Yep,
and art.
body art.
Mhm.
She's amazing. So just check out our friends list. Bunch of great people over here. We love them. We try to support the community.
Tell them the McStabbers sent you.
Yep. Tell them you came from here. I know I'm forgetting some stuff, so I will let the
Yep.
schedule.
Yep, the schedule. So upcoming over the next week, Tam is back on break. He came back for Darker Waters last week. However, he is on break through Hana Chronicles is on break throughout the month of December, so they'll be returning in January. So no content during Monday through Friday. However, Saturday, Shanky is running a special vampire one-shot with new players or players who haven't played the new version.
And it's live.
And basically, spoilers, it's going to be Windy City After Dark related. So, yeah.
Windy City After Dark.
Yeah, after Dark.
It is going to exist in the same city that Windy City After Dark is set, because I do like to keep all of them in the same canon universe. Mm-hmm. It's going to happen with some people that aren't associated with the coterie.
Nope.
But you may hear some of them pop up in later seasons.
And I will be in it as kind of like the overseer, but I'm not going to be playing Jackie. I'll be playing someone else. So basically, that's going to be Saturday at 3 p.m., the normal Ishvel time, since Ishvel's on break. Shanky's doing that one shot then. And then on Sunday, you can tune in for ARC story, Vampire the Masquerade, Windy City After Dark at 5 p.m. and the giveaway. So you don't want to miss it.
Yep. Come get your free shit.
Come get your free shit before Christmas.
Yep. Because that'll be on the 20th. That episode, the giveaway will be on the 20th.
Yes.
Which is right before Christmas. So Merry Christmas from
McStabber Studios. Truly, truly, we love you all for the support that you have given us over the year plus that we have been streaming our stories. We want to give back to you for the subs, for the support, for the shout outs on Twitter, for joining the Discord community, for basically being active in our chat here on Twitch and chatting with us on YouTube and stuff like that. We love you all, and we love that you appreciate the stories we tell. So we want to give back.
The 20th actually marks 1 day short of our 15-month anniversary from our very first stream.
Yep. So in 15 months, we have grown exponentially because of all of you, and we appreciate you and want to give back. Yep. Thank you so much.
And any players have anything you want to say before I give the Chops outro? Because I've got to do the Chops outro.
Oh, go for it.
We love all of you.
We do.
And mental health is no joke, especially in the holiday season and with the COVID surge and everything going on. Don't assume everyone is okay. Don't assume that everyone, is fine. Check in on them. Check on your friends. Check on your family. Check on people you don't even like, okay? This is not the time to play that game. Check on everybody. Make sure they're okay. And if you are someone who suffers from mental health issues, if you need to talk to somebody, talk to somebody. We have a whole Discord of people who like to talk. You talk to a mental health professional. Doesn't matter. Talk to somebody, because nobody can bear the weight alone, especially now.
And nobody's a mind reader. Yep. So, really, people generally will do check-ins from time to time, but, life happens and things get busy. If you need help, reach out. Please reach out.
Yep, because one thing this studio does is takes mental health very seriously. So I thank you all for coming and joining us on this dark at times, but
sometimes a little
lighter journey. And by what I've been hinting, things are going to get darker, because you always start off on a lighter tone
and work your way down.
Because each of these kindred here know that it's only a matter of time before they become just like Nero, because that is the fate of a kindred. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.